So it's all chopped up in peak hour traffic early in the morning on Mount Panorama, and the field will split as a result. So both BMWs and Aston Martin in the GMR Mercedes-AMG have got massive track position out of this. That 77 car's now a lap behind. They need to wait for the next.
Even in these hot conditions, just means that you get to know the car easier. You don't have to get out, rethink it, and get back in. But that will be a driver preference. They'll always take fuel. They'll always take tyres on these pit stops. There's a minimum pit stop time, 78 seconds line to line, which is around 40 seconds stationary. So the driver
car in Pirelli World Challenge Sprint X competition, but here running in two different classes. And Alec had a great run there, but they came up in the back of that GT4 traffic. Now he's going to try and squeeze to the inside. And I think Preston realized, you know, we're in the AM group. That is an all-out pro car at that point. No sense this early fighting it, and he let young Alec Udell through.
He sure did. It's weird.
The bright green machine that is Tracy Crone's team. And they didn't get very much practice in, but it's great to see them out there. They've also got a second car they're running, which is at 7.78. But no problem so far for our leading competitors.
That is how how bad the visibility was. They had to wait. A decision was coming, but what would that decision be?
There was also, after the red flag, a partial reset of the fields. The cars did not go into part ferme conditions, so they could be fueled, new tyres could be fitted, you could change your driver. But because the BMW owed us a pit stop prior to the red flag, it was actually put behind the
car snapped out, so definitely very sketchy in the grip. Those reins are going to be paying big dividends, at least for now. And now Dane, it's a bit of a surprise when you think it might be lightening up in a little bit.
That really surprises me. I'm not sure if he had a big moment and just said, I can't control the car any further, but I'm really surprised at this, that they're coming in.
The potential of a yellow resetting things. The gap, by the way, Heinrich to Vanthor, only 5.3 seconds on the last lap. Vanthor is just flirting with it. You get the sense that maybe he's got a little bit left if he wasn't forced to save fuel.
Heads up driving by Patrick Liddy there.
The course of an 8-hour race, the battles come and go. There's hot moments and cool moments as far as when things get hot. And if you can just pounce on an opportunity like that, Bastian Boost is on a mission. And the body language of the 61 of this 61 car is not a lot of patience right now.
No, we've talked about how single-make Porsche racing has produced a lot of stars.
As they're heading down towards Versiphon. Oh, the leader has hit another car, and almost cannoning has. It's cannoned one BMW into another. I think there's a hit there on the Rover BMW, and that's on Estra. That is on Estra. Oh my goodness me! And there's a car upside down. Is that the 98 car? It is.
No, it isn't. It was
car a little bit later in the race to try and get their lap back, and there's GT4 cars in all of this as well.
You actually saw, I was like, why is Maxi Gulch putting his foot on the brake going up mountain straight? It's because he had to change lanes because of the GT4 cars. Even before they got to the control line, Augusto Farfus bowled a wide at the chase. So
don't need to be super fast like we see in some of the SRO series.
But this man has also driven a mega first stint. Calvin van der Linde has escaped up the road, and this is the lead car then with 26 laps done. Calvin van der Linde leads by 17 seconds. And bearing in mind that although...
Hang on to that lead. Patrick Long fighting for that third spot, and Alvaro Parent up from fifth into the fourth spot. Great start for the McLaren from K-Pax Racing.
Oh, it's tight stuff here up in the turn at number 6. You get the big compression here as you shoot up the hill towards the most iconic corner in all of motorsport. It's the corkscrew here. 11-story drop down the hill as you climb down through Rainy here. You'll see it right here. These cars compress down and just...
We'll get a new order as they cross, but it's going to be interesting to monitor not only the progress of the 27 Lamborghini of Danny Juncadella, who started 27th, remember, but also this car, Augusto Farfus, in the BMW of Rover Racing. But Thomas Preining will lead the opening lap of the ADAC Ravenel 24 hours of the Nürburgring. We've already had 8.5 minutes of course.
Better, and that's going to be important. Oh, tyre down on the left rear here. Now, I don't want to jump to conclusions too early here, but sometimes if you start to overheat a tyre like this, they'll be on wets, and if the track is drying out and behind the wheel of the 93 right now. It is Trent Hinman still.
Yeah, still Trent.
If you don't start looking for that water to try and cool it down, Greg.
Yep. Well, the bigger concern here.
Trent Hinman has caught Alexander Sims for the final step of the podium. It looks like the championship is out of reach, barring something very dramatic in the final 10 minutes for DXDT Racing. Their streak of 8 straight race wins in jeopardy of being snapped here tonight in Indianapolis. But there is still the opportunity to perhaps be on the podium if Sims can keep him.
Right in the center of the racetrack as well, entering turn 12, Ryan.
33-point lead coming in, but 50 points on offer with this being double points, as it's only a single race weekend relative to the normal double race weekend format. Ugh.
Coming out, and it doesn't get hit by Daniel Huncadale.
It absolutely does. It's the 831. It is the 831 second place car, I think.
No, it's 303, isn't it?
Oh.
Yeah, it's the 303. It's the Hyundai end of Motorsport. This is the Asia Pacific car. Oh,
yeah.
no.
Yeah. It's not the TCR second place car then.
No.
Phew.
Racing lap at speed. Maxi Goetz leads the 12-hour by 1.5 seconds. Fastest second for BMW. And Chaz Mostert, well, who would have predicted he'd pass some cars early? The Ferrari up to third.
Be able to get up with that bronze gradient driver pretty swiftly and find a way through. But number 91 Porsche sitting on the tail of the lapped 28 Kevin Say Mercedes. 28 is significant to the 91 Porsche because Jonathan Hui is scoring points in IGTC Independent just like Ralph Bone is. This then is Ralph Bone's one stint in the car. This is the first time that...
Squeeze play, a little bit of contact there. Everybody now starting to ease down. Looks like they're going to sneak through.
Got to remember, this is an 8-hour race at
Exactly.
Andretti hairpin here. Turn number 2, the cars come down through. A lot of aero grip here. Turn number 3, you'll see a lot of the dust brought up here. Side by side, the 2 lead Audis through turn number 4.
Oh, and Christopher Mies, he had Kaffer right up the inside, turning into turn 3. But the downforce of these cars, superb.
PCR car, so they all get a chance to start in the second group as well. But unsurprisingly, it's the Cup 2 Porsches at the head of the order, and Tobias Muller leading them into the Goodyear hairpin.
It always looks utter chaos, doesn't it, the opening lap of any motor race, but from the driver's perspective, all you've got to focus on is a car alongside you, in front of you. And
new car. Thankfully, Christophe Dupre was able to get out. And then we were treated to some truly terrific overtaking at Schwedenkreuz at Arenberg between the Porsche and the Audi, first of all.
Hansen Guven really put his hand up as one of the coming stars. He's been showing good form for a couple of years. But again, this is what we want. The car's right on the edge of adhesion.
Putting wet tyres on this car this weekend in terms of how the car would perform. Pepper there, shortcuts turn 5 and 6. Key is you got to touch those blue and white curves and not be called on a penalty there.
Here's that quick left-right flick through 5 and 6. I really like that part of the track.
I do, and I like the pace.
Drivers have really stuck to the task. They knew it was going to be a tall order. You can't allow the frustration of the pace of your race car to get into the way of just executing the day. They've done all they could, but just going to be a little bit shy the way it's looking.
And for the 63 also, I think there were some unknowns in the endurance aspect of this race, given all the other races this season are 90 minutes long.
A lap. Now they've already lost one by the looks of things.
Ooh, we got a nudge there from Kenny. Bit of a late move there by Kenny.
Basically 1 hour elapsed. We're ready to go back to green once again. Coming up onto the front straightaway, it's still Patrick Niederhauser who owes a pit stop that leads the race.
No overtaking. It doesn't necessarily mean slow down, as now dive bombing the Lamborghini of Marco Mappelli, and there's more than a touch there from Adam Christodoulou, absolutely elbowing the Lamborghini out of its way, and I think sensibly letting the Lamborghini back through again to take its racing line.
In the end, you're both crashing. Kenny would have been better off just jamming it in there, and they would have been side-by-side contact, and James wouldn't have gone around.
Now, GMR need to take this drive-through as soon as they can, because with all that drama that was going on in the restart with Ian James and checking...
Do you think it was this smooth on Grenier? At the time, I thought it was fair. The gap was there. The contact happens. Does the contact happen because Estra goes into Grenier, or does it happen because Grenier turns into Estra? It's hard to call from the...
But then behind the Lamborghini is just a big, long queue of cars, and the first one directly is Christodoulou, and The Grand Prix circuit offers lots of opportunities for overtaking in SB9, but once you get onto the Nürburgring, you really need to have a big...
Has been very sporty in terms of the straight line speed. Tomczyk flicks down to the inside. That's going to be dicey there as all of the cars get to apex. Dane gets alongside the number 75 Sun Energy Mercedes and clears him, as does Tomczyk, but it was close.
Oh boy, Tomczyk coming across the bows like that. There was not much room.
Dane Cameron is having to slide that anchor a little bit more than the BMW. That seems like it's
executed the best race they possibly could, but looks like it's going to come up a little bit shy unless Heinrich runs out of juice here.
Well, Heinrich has backed the pace off a little more. He just ran a 24.9. We're seeing him in fuel-safe mode about a half a second faster than that at times earlier in this stint. Vanthoor, though, is at a 24.6. He's 10 or 15 minutes, and he's able to make it work around the outside of Adam Adelson. These are the two silver drivers in these respective lineups going head-to-head here. And right now, halfway through this stint, the Corvette looks a lot happier than the Porsche does from on board with Adam.
Limping around, and it's a big spin. It's actually a spin, and the left-hand side of the car hitting the tyre barriers, not too harshly, I've got to say. They're quite firm, those tyre barriers up against Armco, and you will damage your car. However, smoke coming from the right wheel arch of the car, so I'm not sure